Think you've seen every 80s slasher out there? Think again. Welcome back to Globewise Entertainment, where we dig deep into the shadows of cinema to bring you the hidden gems Hollywood forgot. Today we're slashing into part 2 of 15 80s slasher sleepers you probably haven't seen yet. From creepy cabins to blood-soaked prom nights, these underrated horrors flew under the radar, but are absolutely killer. Haven't subscribed to Globewise Entertainment yet? Don't wait till the final scream. Hit that subscribe button now and join the cult of classic movie lovers. And hey, we want to hear from you. Which of these slasher sleepers surprised you the most? Drop your favorite in the comments below. 11. The Dorm That Dripped Blood, 1982. A forgotten campus nightmare. It was supposed to be a quiet break. Just a few college students, staying behind over Christmas vacation to help close down the old, nearly abandoned dormitory before its scheduled demolition. The halls were empty, the air was cold, and most of the campus had gone home for the holidays. For Joanne and her small group of friends, it was the perfect time to get some extra work done, and maybe sneak in a little fun. But from the start, something felt off. The old dorm building, once filled with life, now stood silent and echoing, its long corridors shadowy and still. As night fell and the snow began to fall outside, things started to go wrong. Equipment vanished. Lights flickered. And then one of them disappeared. At first they thought it was a joke, a prank even. After all, the film's original title Pranks gives a hint of the red herrings it teases. But the truth was much darker. One by one, the students began to fall victim to a mysterious, brutal killer stalking them through the dorm's dark corners and forgotten rooms. The murders weren't just random. They were violent, calculated, and deeply personal. There were no phones, no help coming. Just locked doors, broken exits, and a growing sense of dread. Joanne, the film's final girl, becomes more and more isolated, forced to piece together who could be behind the bloodshed and why. Was it one of her friends? A deranged outsider? Or something deeper buried in the history of the building itself? What makes The Dorm That Dripped Blood stand out isn't just its creepy, claustrophobic setting, but the bleak tone, the gritty realism, and a shock twist that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. It's low budget, yes, but that adds to the rawness. The lighting is moody, the kills are brutal, and the paranoia slowly chokes the story as it winds toward a grim, unforgettable ending. This film was even banned in the UK during the video nasty era, which only added to its cult status. If you're a fan of Black Christmas or The House on Sorority Row, The Dorm That Dripped Blood is a must-watch sleeper slasher with the chilling atmosphere and a punch-you-in-the-gut payoff. 12. Don't Go in the Woods, 1981. The wilderness has eyes. And a machete. Imagine a quiet forest, sunlight filters through the treetops, birds chirp, and a group of carefree hikers sets off for an adventure. They're just looking for an escape, a little peace, and some fun. What they don't know is something else is out there. Watching. Waiting. That's the setup in Don't Go in the Woods, a 1981 low-budget slasher that feels like a fever dream. The plot is simple, too simple maybe, but what it lacks in polish it more than makes up for in sheer what am I watching? Energy. We're talking weird kills, bizarre characters, and a killer who looks like a caveman in a fur coat, grunting and hacking his way through unsuspecting campers. There's no real motive. No deep backstory. Just backwoods carnage set to a strangely upbeat synth score. And while it was widely panned upon release and even banned in the UK as part of the infamous video nasties list, time has turned this film into something of a cult oddity. Horror fans today love it not despite its flaws, but because of them. It's the kind of movie you throw on at midnight with a group of friends and some popcorn, laughing, wincing, and wondering how on earth it got made. Don't Go in the Woods isn't just a movie. It's an experience. A strange, bloody, utterly unforgettable experience. 13. Offerings, 1989. Imagine this. A quiet Oklahoma suburb. A young boy named John Radley, shy, awkward, and often bullied, is pushed one step too far. One cruel prank leads to a devastating fall down a well, and John is never quite the same again. Years pass. People forget. But John doesn't. Now mute, Scarred and recently released from a mental institution, John returns to the town that broke him. He watches from the shadows, silent, observant, focusing his attention on the one person who ever showed him kindness, Gretchen. And as the bodies begin to pile up, Gretchen starts receiving strange gifts. A teddy bear, a flower, finger, a nose, each offering more grotesque than the last. She's being courted by a killer. Offerings is a haunting, low-budget slasher that clearly borrows from Halloween, right down to the quiet stalker, eerie piano score, and creeping suburban dread. But there's something off-kilter and unsettling about it. It's rough around the edges, yes, but it carries an eerie charm all its own. Shot on location in Oklahoma, with a local cast and a dark, emotionally twisted story, Offerings is more than a knockoff. It's a strange, sorrowful descent into one boy's broken mind and his horrifying version of love. A forgotten Vitis-era relic, but for those who discover it, an offering worth unwrapping. 14. Eyes of a Stranger, 1981. The Killer Next Door. In the sticky heat of 1980s Miami, a predator stalks the streets. He doesn't wear a mask. He doesn't lurk in the shadows of a campground. No, this killer blends in. He could be anyone. And that's what makes him so terrifying. Eyes of a Stranger opens with a series of brutal assaults across the city. Women are being terrorized, and the police seem powerless to stop it. But one local news anchor, Jane Harris, begins to suspect that her quiet, unassuming neighbor might be hiding something dark. She's seen him sneaking around, caught glimpses through his apartment window disturbing things. But nobody believes her. After all, who would suspect the mild-mannered man next door? Meanwhile, inside her own apartment, Jane harbors a deeper trauma. Her teenage sister, Tracy, is blind, deaf, and mute, the tragic result of a violent incident years ago. She lives in silence, cut off from the world and completely vulnerable. So when the killer sets his sights on their home, Jane finds herself in a race against time. What follows is a tightly wound thriller filled with voyeurism, psychological tension, and gruesome suspense. The camera lingers just a second too long on darkened hallways, on windows left open, on phones ringing into silence. Every frame feels like a warning. And the horror? It's unflinching. With Dawn of the Dead makeup maestro Tom Savini handling the gore, the violence hits hard and fast. But this isn't just about blood. It's about dread. It's about watching someone slowly close in, and not being able to do a thing about it. Often overshadowed by flashier slashers of its time, Eyes of a Stranger is more Hitchcock than Friday the 13th. It's a slasher wrapped in a psychological thriller, and it dares to ask, what if the killer isn't out in the woods, but just across the hall? 15 Night School, 1981. The Killer in the Shadows of Boston. It's a chilly autumn night in Boston. The city lights reflect off wet cobblestones as the streets begin to empty. Somewhere in the shadows, a motorbike hums softly, and a figure in black watches. The women of a local night school are being hunted. One by one they vanish, only to turn up later, their heads missing. No one knows who will be next. The media blames a sex maniac. The police are baffled. But there's something strangely methodical about the killings, almost academic. At the heart of this chilling mystery is a charming but enigmatic anthropology professor. His relationships with the female students? Complicated. His past? Even darker. And as Detective Judd Austin digs deeper, the line between predator and victim begins to blur. Night School may have slipped under the radar in the golden age of slashers, but it offers something unique. A cerebral tone, urban atmosphere, and a killer who doesn't just slash. He stalks with purpose. The film draws you in with its cool, clinical dread, more psychological than gory, but no less disturbing. And the killer's signature weapon? A gleaming curved cookery blade, slicing through Boston's nighttime silence. Forgotten by many, but unforgettable once seen, Night School is a stylish, suspenseful relic of early 80s horror, and proof that sometimes, the scariest slasher is the one you never saw coming. And there you have it, 15 more underrated slasher gems from the 80s that deserve way more love than they ever got. If you're a true horror fan, chances are we just added a few new blood-soaked favorites to your watch list. Which one shocked you the most? Or have you actually